Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, guys. We're going to be taking another look at 𝗕𝗡 here. We're going to kick things off with this weekly chart. Actually, we're going to just jump over to the weekly, talk about the bigger picture, where things are heading here for 𝗕𝗡, and what we might expect to happen next. So let's take a look at what's been going on. We can obviously see that everything really kind of kick-started and worked well here for 𝗕𝗡, which is basically around March of 2020. Since then, all the way up to the high of what we've seen in May of 2021, that was 42,878% in gains. So a lot of profit has been made with 𝗕𝗡 so far. A small pullback has happened, obviously, during the fourth wave correction for Bitcoin. Bitcoin had the pullback, bring the rest of the market down with it, and now things are starting to heat up once again when it comes to 𝗕𝗡 here. So lots of fantastic things have happened, lots of gains have been made, specifically if you're an early adopter of this project like Chris, who has been talking about 𝗕𝗡, which is now obviously known as Polygon, for quite some time. So you know, some of those projects that if you're super early into it, you've seen such lucrative returns on your investment so far. Now obviously many people were probably just buying in as things were spiking up, and maybe were buying at the top of this May wave, right, when we got to the top here on the 17th of May, and for example, potentially then, you know, just seeing downtrend after downtrend, right, a loss of their money, potentially selling and succumbing to the fear. But if you were able to hodl your way through with the anticipation and understanding of where things are going in the second half of this year, in the coming weeks and months, then I think there's going to be another 550% in gains to be made from the current position. So for 𝗕𝗡, everything is still very, very good. We got rejected from the 50% retracement zone last week, but everything this week is starting to actually heat back up again as we go up a little bit further. We'll get into the daily in a moment as we start to talk through some of these Fibonacci retracement zones, where our areas of main resistance are, and what things are looking like on the short term. Now obviously on this weekly chart we can see that during this fourth wave correction that we were oversold. This is again in line with our lower points during the kind of first wave or second wave, which was a correction wave, and where things started in also in March of 2020, right? So all of those real low points again come in line with expectation of a big wave to the upside. And what you can see from wave 1, where we're basically overbought, wave 3 here overbought, and this is where we are yet to go. We're not overbought yet with 𝗕𝗡, right? And this is a big thing because we could look at something like Cardano, it's already overbought. We take a look at Polkadot, it's already overbought. We take a look at some of these other coins and many of these altcoins in the space, and they're all overbought already, which means there is so much more potential right now when it comes to 𝗕𝗡 on the fact that it hasn't kind of reached those key levels just yet. It lags behind, but with Ethereum heating up and reaching some significant high values, the gas fees are becoming unmanageable once again, and that is where the Polygon network and the 𝗕𝗡 token really start to come into effect. So lots of fantastic things on the horizon here for 𝗕𝗡. Now, that's the weekly chart. Let's jump down into our daily and start talking about what's going on with this price action on the smaller time frame. So here we can obviously see where we started to consolidate down on. We got rejected from this 50% retracement zone. This was basically $1.66, and basically we came down just lower than our 382 area of the Fibonacci, $1.41. Okay, we actually just wicked down a little bit lower, then got back above, and now it is a good support line for us today, as it was tested there yesterday as well. This again, this kind of correction that we've seen, this rejection from that 50% retracement zone up in the overbought area down to where we are now using the 382 as a support line. This actually took us into an oversold status, and now we have all this growth side yet again now. So we have the potential now to push right back up to the upside as we start to see significant gains coming back in during this recovery. Again, this is very much in line with what we are seeing with our weekly chart. So our daily and our weekly are in consensus. There's going to be a push to the upside. We can also see that this yellow box area on this daily chart, this is the 618, 702 and the 786 area of the Fibonacci retracement tool. This is where most of the work or the hard work will actually get done. This is where we want to see that closed candle, preferably weekly, above, which would be basically anything above $2.26. In that position, that's going to be a big bull signal that takes this to the next level and starts taking out the new price discovery, right? And so lots of things to look forward to there. Obviously, in order to get up to the 618, we have to obviously pass the previous resistance of $1.66. Okay, but we do have the potential here to do so. We take a look at the volumes, and we can see that actually the volumes are reasonably low. They've actually diminished and come a little bit lower now as we had this correction to the downside. So everything there is looking pretty good with a potential to push to the upside now. Ethereum fees are becoming, again, as I said, unmanageable to actually operate the network. So let's actually jump down back into our hourly view. And again, this is where we get to see a little bit more of the clarity over what is going on, right? And we can obviously see the volumes here. You can see good volume coming in, pushing the price up above our 382 area, and then coming back down as we had that correction. That was kind of what you wanted to see. And there's little bits of pockets of spikes of reasonable volume coming in here. But otherwise, there's nothing really notable at this point. They're pretty much the same as what they were over here, and they're quite static and flat. They fluctuate a little bit, but it's kind of just to be expected. And when we take a look at the candles here, we can see that there is a clear kind of downward trend, but there's also an upward trend as well. I'll draw that out in a moment. We can see that we're overbought on the stochastic, so we are looking for a short-term pullback. Again, probably testing our lower area here, but we'll check that in a moment as well, because although we are overbought, you can actually sustain being up in the overbought area for a little bit longer than we currently are. So we could actually see a break to the upside where we go after $1.60 and try to turn this area of resistance back into a support line like we had previously done over here. So again, all of that is kind of looking forward to and to play for as we go after the 50% retracement zone yet again. So let's actually draw up those trend lines. What does it look like here on this hourly chart? Well, we can see that there's a few touch points here, right? Let me just pull that into place. So we can see that when we were up at the 50% retracement zone, we were up against resistance, and we can see that actually we track this down as a couple points. So we've had 3 points now of touch on this downward trend. So that's an interesting thing. Now we've got the upward trend also forming just over here. And again, this is not perfect, but it's going to give you a kind of a ballpark figure as to kind of how that's playing out. And you can see over time how this kind of gets wedged in. And basically, we could see an explosion to the upside. Again, this is something that we could see on the back of our weekly and our daily charts being in the positions that they are from a stochastic point of view. This could sustain an overbought area here, or alternatively, we actually come down and retest this lower bound here, this upward trend, just test this line a little bit, with a complete loss of momentum, taking us down lower, and then a surge to the upside, breaking our downtrend and going after this area here. I am leaning more bullish than bearish at this particular scenario, and this is just because I do see everything on the weekly and the hourly charts, on the daily charts, sorry, working really well for us, whereas the hourly just needs to kind of trade out a little bit more in certain areas. But overall, I think even if these trend lines, which are usually the worst things to use, guys, if I'm honest, if these things do invalidate, then we'll just continue to trade sideways here until our hourly chart is also in line with an oversold status with our daily and our weekly. Both of those charts are looking very bullish, so we just need to get this kind of momentum locked in so that we can go ahead and see that surge to the upside here for 𝗕𝗪𝗃. Overall, like I said, once we get past that 50% retracement zone, it's all about the 618, 702, 786, and then going after the previous high, which comes in just up here at, I think it's like $2.71, something like that. Let me go back to the daily and just find out. Just can check that. Yeah, $2.71. Once we get past that area, again, the first target that we'll be addressing and going after is going to basically be this area here at $4. After $4, we're talking about $6.09, $8.19, and then at the top, $9.48. So again, 550% gains still left on the table here is my expectation as we have a good surge to the upside here for 𝗕𝗪𝗃. Again, just short of $10 as the price target and expectation for this particular cycle for this project. Guys, hopefully you have found this useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.